Can confirm that I have had a meeting with the FBI Director, Kash Patel, but I'm not going to make any comment further than that. There will be a statement coming out later in relation to his visit.
He has confirmed to the Daily Mail that the FBI will be setting up a base in Wellington to accommodate Chinese interferences. That happening?
Okay, so like I said, there will be a statement coming out later, and I will not be making any further comment on that, other than to confirm to all of you that yes, I have met with the FBI Director, Kash Patel.
Is that true?
So I'm not commenting on that. You wait for our statement, guys. There'll be a statement coming out later today, and we'll wait for that. Yeah, the Daily Mail. Yeah, yep. I won't comment on the Daily Mail, and I'll just say that there will be a statement coming out for you later today. Well, we'll have to wait and see.
Are you going to put on a statement? Who's going to do that?
Oh, right, no, it won't be a statement coming from me, no. But there will be a statement. Well, you'll have to wait and see. You can wait and see who the statement. Well, from the government, obviously, but I don't know whose office will be putting the statement out. But there will be a statement from the government. I can confirm that yes, I have met with the FBI Director. I'll not be discussing any more details other than to say that there'll be a statement coming out soon.
Sorry, just one more question. Is it usual or routine for an FBI Director to come to New Zealand to maintain those relationships, just broadly speaking?
Well, I think it's a very positive sign that the FBI Director has chosen to come and visit New Zealand, and he's welcome with open arms. He's one of our Five Eyes partners, and so yeah, no, it's a really significant visit for us.
But it's not a routine thing; it's a significant visit.
Well, I don't know if you'd call it routine, because obviously they have enormous pressures on their time in terms of where they're going and where they're travelling. But obviously it's great to have him here. It's been good to meet with him, and there'll be a statement coming out later today. I don't know, Adam.
Did we invite him, or was this something?
Guys, I'm not. I know that. I thought we were going to be talking about emergency management. I know that you're curious and you want the information around the FBI Director's visit. I get that totally, but I can't say anything more. I won't say anything more until that statement comes out.
You'll at least front for media later today when that statement comes out, so we can ask you questions in detail.
Well, absolutely. Someone from government front. I don't know if it'll be me, because I'm going out to a recruit graduation today and got other things going on. But someone will front for you, Tom.
Good to stop. I'm happy to move topic. Minister, how do you defend people being sent emergency alerts at 2 a.m. in the morning and again at 6 a.m. this morning when there appears to be no great tsunami?
Well, we don't have the luxury of playing Russian roulette with people's lives. Is that when we have a significant event and a massively significant event like the earthquake in Russia that had the compounded effect of tsunami warnings, dart boys around the Pacific saying that we were having an event coming towards us, and actually all the evidence showed the expert group, scientists, that it was going to impact the entire country, is that we have a responsibility to alert them and give them that information. And I can tell you right now that if we hadn't done that, and there'd been half a dozen people swept off the beach this morning when they were walking their dogs at 6:30 and had been drowned, then I'd be standing here being asked why we didn't use our national alert system.
In our whānau in the Opotiki Bay area, Ruatoki, those rural townships have been cut off because of flooding. Now, they're inland, but they think that it is related to the current tsunami warnings, but the floodings are coming down from the Maunga while the tides are rising around the coastal area around Opotiki. Are they related in any way?
Look,
mass flooding.
It's a really good question. I have had no advice to say that they are related. I am aware of the flooding over in Opotiki in the Eastern Bay. I will get that information for you and from the experts to see whether or not it could be related. I mean, we know that the tsunami activity is going to have an impact on tides, on currents, which we've seen throughout the country. A really interesting figure around tsunami and tsunami activity is that they're very different to conventional waves in the sense that if someone gets caught in a tsunami wave, there's a 90% chance that they will die because it's a wave of energy. The height of the wave doesn't actually necessarily denote the power and the damage that they can do.
In terms of that alert in the So regardless of what time it was, they had said that it prepared them and the marae for anything that could have happened that might even
Thank you. Well, thank you, Claudette, for that feedback, because you're highlighting exactly why the decisions were taken to send out notifications. We had the unusual situation where we had 12 hours in which to be able to notify the entire country and for people to be able to know what we're dealing with, what was coming, and base their decisions around that. And I think that you've just highlighted exactly why the notifications go out. And I'm sorry for the inconvenience if it's in the early hours of the morning, but you know what, when emergencies strike us, we don't get to choose the timing of that.
One of the notifications things, I don't think anyone's arguing that they need to be prepared, but there were obviously glitches, even in select committee this morning, several going off.
Yes, absolutely, yep.
What work are you doing to figure out?
There's some gremlins in the system without a doubt, and this because we haven't done one of these for a long time. So now it's good that we can go back with the telcos and make sure that we fix those, because
do you receive any briefing on anything that might go wrong at this point in time? It'd be interesting to know in your latest briefing in terms of the wider tsunami impact to New Zealand.
No, so we know that we're still seeing tsunami activity, that's still occurring. So, the warning remains in place.
What kind of activity?
Well, still that's those coastal surges, changes in currents. People are still observing those changes around the country at the moment. There's been a high level of compliance in terms of the alert that's gone out. There's always some people that choose to ignore these, and that's not uncommon. I've been to 14 local states of emergency in the last 18 months, and it's frustrating when you deal with people that take no notice of the warning that's gone out there for their own safety, and then put first responders in harm's way because they need help, someone to go and rescue them. In terms of the alerts, yes, totally accept the fact that we've had late alerts, multiple alerts, some alerts that haven't come through. Apparently there's a whole lot of technical reasons for that. NEMA now is working with the telcos to make sure that we make that system even better. So yes, acknowledge that we need to improve the actual alert system itself.
There's an element here where the emergency is not, an actual tsunami destroying the city, but it's at that threshold where you can send out an alert. It's kind of like a test run almost for the worst case scenario where you can, in a legitimate operating environment, send out these alerts and see how it plays out.
Well, I mean, this definitely wasn't a test run, and there is a lot of thought that goes into and a lot of work that's done with experts, gathering as much information as we can, evaluating the risk to human life before these decisions are made. I guess with this one, where in some ways we had a bit of breathing space, is that we knew we had about 12 hours. Now, I'm not saying that every minute doesn't count, it does, because if it was a serious tsunami and we had to evacuate the entire coastal seaboard, that 12 hours is not much time to do that. But the one thing that it has shown, Jack, is that we need to do, there's still gremlins sitting inside the system. We use it often for local states of emergency, but we haven't used it for a national notification for a long time. And so in some ways it's actually been good to do it, to see that we can now go back and make the improvements that we need to make.
Is there a risk of people maybe not taking this seriously because they can be getting these relatively often?
I'm really glad that we're having this discussion in this country, because we are a country that gets hit with severe weather events. We are a country that has got major faults running through it. We're a country that may have to deal with tsunamis, earthquakes, and we have had to do that, and weather events. So there is no room for complacency in the way that we deal with those. Now, I don't have the luxury of complacency at all as Minister, neither does NEMA. And so all of the planning, all of the decision making quite simply is around keeping people safe. Now, we can't control the way people view that or how they respond to that. The only thing that I would say is that the most effective way to have a response in our country is that it's in all of society. And that means everyone playing their part in that and making good decisions and making sure that, there's been a bit of disruption, and although I got some positive feedback from parents saying that they got their kids out of bed at 6:30 this morning, so let's take a positive out of it. And I just want to say that I'm extremely proud of NEMA. Guys, I don't have the luxury of operating on a optimism bias. That is how people die.
But do they need the news effectively, this is an alarm going out to people saying, get out of bed, actually go back to sleep. The best thing you can do is staying there, but just working on couldn't there be different methods to communicate to a small group of houseboat owners and dog owners?
So what would you be asking me if we have thousands of people, and I know in my own electorate, we have thousands of people that go to the beaches at about 6:30 in the morning to walk their dogs and enjoy nature, right? So if we had allowed those people to go down there and we'd had some people caught in a tidal surge related to that tsunami and they were drowned and we lost them, you'd be standing there now asking me why we did not use everything that we had to alert them. That's what you'd be doing.
I'm saying there's never need a method to communicate to people that doesn't wake up the entire country.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry that we're having to wake up the entire country, and I'm sorry for the inconvenience of that. But if it means making sure that people are kept safe, and it means that we save lives, and we've seen time and time again in our country when these emergencies come through and there's failures in the system, then we lose lives. And so I apologise that people have been woken up through the alert, but I make no apology for the fact that we're taking our responsibility seriously. We are very careful about what we do, but we will be proactive. And
Minister, what happens in a worst case scenario if there was a tsunami that was actually about to hit and threaten the shoreline? Is this the alert that Kiwis can expect, or will there be sirens that ring out? What actually happens in that worst case scenario that people need to evacuate the entire coast?
Yeah, really good question. So, if the DART boys, if the information that was coming from the Pacific Tsunami Monitoring Centre was telling us that that was sizable and it was going to inundate, coastal communities, then that is a massive all of government, local government, society response to keep people safe, and those are real-time decisions that have to be made. In this case, that wasn't the information that we were getting. We were getting that yes, we were going to have tsunami activity, but it was largely going to be onshore and not inundate.
Is this the same alert mechanism that is used in those more serious scenarios?
Yes.
Is there any additional alerts on top of those? Or?
There would be, so basically we would activate radio stations, our television stations. By the way, our media have actually been outstanding, even on this one, in reporting it. You look at the media, there's constant updates and reports happening. So we would use every means available to us to communicate with communities to start to coordinate and evacuate them. But you can imagine it. Imagine the size of the operation, and that's why I said 12 hours really is not much. If we had a sizable tsunami coming at us that we've seen in other parts of the world, and we had to evacuate our entire eastern seaboard.
How much longer do you think we'll be on standby on alert? When will we be able to...
Really good question. I just had a 12 o'clock update to say that we're still seeing activity, and I'll get another update later on this afternoon. But hoping, Claudette, that obviously we start to see a reduction in the activity. Well, that's a personal decision of theirs, but normally, my experience of this is the local emergencies that I've been to, and there's been 14 of them. And by the way, my electorate was hit very hard 2.5 years ago with the Auckland flooding. My experience is this: it doesn't matter what you do, you're going to have a group of people that says we didn't get enough information, and you're going to have a group of people that says, why did you call early, or why have you done this? There's an old saying, you can keep some of the people happy some of the time, you can't keep all of the people happy all of the time, and that's the reality of it.
What's your understanding of the current presence that the FBI has in New Zealand?
So, again, Adam, you like that one, don't you, Tom? So I mean, they're a Five Eyes partner.
So do they have?
So it's to us, to me, it sends a really positive signal that the new administration highly values New Zealand as part of that Five Eyes partnership, and that we've got the director of the FBI down here, and we'll be able to expand on that with the statement that's coming out today.
The statements.
Oh, you've just got the statement? There you go. Well, I haven't read the statement, so I'll go away and read it. Yeah, thank you.
Do you make a casual as a person?
I like him, yeah. No, he's, how do I describe, very down to earth, very aware and across the issues that we're facing. very aligned. For us, we've got a big methamphetamine problem, obviously, that we're dealing with as a country. They've got the same sort of issues. So yeah, he's got right behind his bureau. He's got his agents back out, highly active, doing their work. So yeah, I was very impressed with them.
In your capacity as Police Minister, they've just confirmed that Cash Patel travelled here in order to open a dedicated law enforcement attaché office, which we already know. How is this going to advance New Zealand law enforcement?
Well, I think it's just that's a signal of how strong the relationship is, and they want to reinforce the importance of that Five Eyes partnership. So, it's a really clear and important signal for us, and we should be working right across our Five Eyes partnership, and especially, for me in law enforcement and public safety. It's really important. We have a responsibility up to the Pacific as well. They are really suffering and buckled under the pressure of Class A drugs and methamphetamine. So I think that it's a very positive step.
How do you think this is going to impact our relationship with China?
Well, I'm not going to comment on that. I'm talking about the relationship that we have with the United States and our Five Eyes partnership.
In the current context, growing ties with the FBI in a environment
I don't
interest in the Pacific as well, which we're very aware of. How do you think that's going to be perceived around the world?
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily characterise it as growing ties. I think we've got very strong pre-existing relationship, partnership, the Five Eyes partnership with the US for decades. It's quite simply he's come in as the FBI director and obviously deciding where his priorities are and what he wants to achieve, and we welcome the opening of this office, and we think that it's going to be very good for us as well.
Have we committed any money towards it?
Not that I'm aware of.
How concerned are you about the presence of China? I mean, that's the central reason for the setting up of this office, right?
Yeah, so I'm not going to. That is a question for the Prime Minister or the Foreign Minister. All I'm doing is speaking quite from my position as Minister of Police. It's a really good step and a really positive step for us to have a permanent FBI liaison office set up here in New Zealand.
Minister, the statement highlights previous work in organised crime, money laundering, child exploitation, drug smuggling, cybercrime and fraud. Yeah. Prime Minister's also spoken about previously in visits to the Pacific, New Zealand's role in combating drug smuggling, for example, and organised crime.
Yeah.
Could you just talk broadly about how vital New Zealand is to the broader region when it comes to that security? Because I don't think people quite realise just how big of a role that New Zealand plays in the region.
Well, New Zealand, in my view, has a vital role to play. We work very closely with the Australians. Our Commissioner has a very strong working relationship with your Federal Commissioner, Rhys Kershaw. And we have a responsibility to be able to assist and support our Pacific neighbours, as we always have, and we will continue to do that.
And does New Zealand have access to unique intelligence networks that other countries don't, that New Zealand provides that sort of missing piece to the puzzle to other nations?
Well, again, I mean, police are very good at gathering intelligence. They've got new intelligence tools that they're gathering all the time, so that they can track and understand the movements and the way that these organised criminal groups are operating. And of course, we cooperate with all of our partners to make sure that we are not only trying to deal with the issues that we've got back home in New Zealand, but assisting globally as well with those issues.
And is it fair to say that New Zealand pulls its weight when it comes to contributions to Five Eyes?
Yeah, I think we do, and I think the feedback that I get is that we definitely do, and I think we're highly respected, and we're deeply capable. We have a deep capability, certainly within police, in fact, across any of our law enforcement agencies. So yes.
Is your understanding that this new FBI office would be to fight transnational crime, or is it more geopolitical statement?
Well, my focus is on transnational crime, and certainly the discussions that I had with the FBI director focused on that. So, yes, that's really we all have a common goal, and that is to get on top of this transnational crime, these organised crime groups and gangs that are peddling a whole lot of misery in our countries and our communities.
So how many? When was that with the director?
I've met with him twice. I met with him last night, and I met with him again today.
So how long has this office been in the making? Is this something that the new administration is thinking that they wanted in New Zealand? Or is this
I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not sure of the timings on that.
How many staff will be based in this office?
Well, I'm not going to talk to the specifics on that. That's for the FBI to talk to.
Do you express any concerns or ask any questions about what this office
No,
is going to look like?
not at all. No, I welcomed it. From a law enforcement, perspective, it's very good. It's positive for us.
Any more resources for New Zealand Police or any other opportunities that we would look
I don't know, not immediately for New Zealand Police, and in terms of resources and how the office will be run, that's a question for the Americans, obviously.
Will we have any New Zealand presence inside that office, or will they be all over?
That's very operational. So, excuse me, but make no mistake, it's a liaison office, so they'll be working very closely with our police.
directly with the Prime Minister?
I don't know, not sure.
So, what role are they going to do that we can't do? What are they going to offer us? What's the advantage of them?
Well, they're very good at law enforcement. They've got very good intelligence networks in terms of the countries that are peddling and sending methamphetamine down to our countries. So, there's lots of different areas that our law enforcement officers can work and collaborate together to try and make sure that we're safer, the Pacific's safer, and ultimately the United States is safer as well.
Can you confirm if Cash Patel met with Minister Judith Collins as well?
Pardon?
Can you confirm if Cash Patel met with Minister Judith Collins as well?
Yes, yeah, he's met with Judith.
Was that meeting together?
Yes, yep.
So there were groups of ministers.
Well, I'm not going to go into the makeup of the meetings, but I can confirm that. I can confirm that.
Mr. Collins, Mr. Peters, Police Commissioner, General Squires.
Yes.
So were they separate meetings?
Yes. Well, I had a joint meeting with the FBI Director and Minister Collins, and I had a meeting with the FBI Director on my own.
How do you think Kiwis are going to feel about growing ties with the FBI establishing it?
Look, the Americans are. We've got a long, enduring relationship with them, and the Five Eyes partnership is really important. And we should be identifying and working together where we can make our country safer and better places, and that's what we're going to do.
This will make New Zealand safer?
Well, from a law enforcement side of it, yes.
So is New Zealand becoming more and more unsafe?
No, but I think that you've seen the latest wastewater testing with methamphetamine. We've got we've definitely, without a doubt, and have done for decades, a challenge with meth. So, yeah, that'll be a good thing. I've got to go, guys, because I've got to get to graduation, yeah.
How do you think China will respond?
So I'm not talking about any foreign policy and stuff. Talk to the Prime Minister or Woodson. I'm just talking about the law enforcement side. But thank you, guys. I've got to go.